A History of the Carmel River Steelhead Association, written by Brian Leneve, a past president and current board member of CRSA, and narrated by Miranda Taylor, a current board member of CRSA. The Carmel River Steelhead Association was formed in 1974 when a group of people noticed dramatic declines in the numbers of steelhead trout and a significant degradation of their habitat on the Carmel River. The Carmel River Steelhead Association, also referred to as CRSA, became an official nonprofit in 1988 and continues to be an active volunteer organization even today in these very different times. The mission of CRSA is to support the restoration and conservation of the South Central Coastal District population segment of California steelhead trout. Members of CRSA hope that one day our community will once again see the recovery and successful management of the native steelhead run on the Carmel River. Volunteers have been working together to accomplish the CRSA mission by advocating for steelhead in all forums where steelhead and/or water are discussed, and with legal action if necessary. The organization has been busy executing projects such as creating steelhead habitat where possible, including removing fish passage barriers, such as log jams in the river, rock walls created by summer visitors, and old bridges or roads that run across the river, blocking water flow. Conducting scientific research on the Carmel River steelhead trout has proven instrumental in order to best support the conservation efforts for steelhead in our currently changing climate. CRSA volunteers have reared steelhead when allowed. This means volunteers raise young trout from fry, which are recently hatched fish, to smolts, which are young fish ready to enter the ocean in enclosed facilities. More commonly, volunteers have been rescuing and relocating steelhead from parts of the Carmel River and its tributaries before those areas dry in summer months, due to excessive withdrawals from this river to supply Monterey County businesses and residents with water. Many past CRSA projects were completed before steelhead became listed as a federally threatened species. A threatened species is one that is likely to become endangered in the foreseeable future throughout all or a greater portion of its range. The Endangered Species Act of 1973 was created to prevent the extinctions facing many species like the steelhead trout by creating strict legal regulatory processes. Once steelhead trout became listed under the Endangered Species Act, the government requires both a federal and state permit to be acquired for work with or in steelhead habitat. This law, in result, makes projects harder to accomplish, although arguably better overall for the health of the fish along with its ecosystems. It's amazing what a small group of dedicated volunteers have accomplished over the past 47 years. Let's take a look at some restoration, advocacy, and scientific projects CRSA has accomplished over the years.
Hey students, can you count how many times you hear the word fish said in the following projects described? A fun way to keep track is to clap your hands each time you hear the word fish. Have a friend make a tally mark on a piece of paper for you each time you hear the word fish.
By far, restoration projects compose a majority of the work the organization does. Throughout 1981 to 1986, CRSA captured stranded fry and raised them in off-stream locations, then releasing the fish as smolts the following year. In 1985, members advocated for the extension of the spillway, a water drainage channel, at the Los Padres Dam to prevent fish from crashing onto boulders below. In 1987, the organization had a notch cut in the spillway at the Los Padres Dam that will allow late migrants of trout to have enough water to continue their journey. Due to the 1987 to 1991 drought, CRSA constructed a steelhead rearing facility at Granite Canyon. 100 smolts were captured and raised to maturity in the facility, and then released 300,000 juvenile steelhead back to the Carmel River, along with 30 of the original smolt that had grown to adults. At the Los Padres Dam, CRSA built trap number 3 and a ladder in 1999 to allow steelhead access to an additional 50% of the watershed above Los Padres Dam. In 2004, the organization built and installed 7 large wood structures located in the man-made south arm of the Carmel Lagoon to provide habitat for smolts where there was no adequate cover for young fish from the weather and predators. In 2008, CRSA partnered with California State Parks and California American Water Company, known as Cal-Am, to repair the old Odello Westfield agricultural irrigation well and water lines. This repair is located near the river mouth at Carmel River State Beach and will allow supplemental water to be pumped into the lagoon in summer months. From 2009 to present, volunteers have been removing fish passage obstacles such as log jams in Kashawa Creek, located in the upper tributaries of the Carmel River. CRSA endorsed the removal of concrete fords and to replace those walls with bridges on Kashawa Creek that will allow ease for safe fish passage. In 2017, CRSA built and installed 11 large wood and boulder structures on the lower river installed by helicopter. These large woody debris structures now provide shelter from the weather and predators that young fish could not find in the open channels of lagoons. From 1980 to present, members have been organizing rescues during the summer months and relocating stranded steelhead in the main stem and tributaries of the Carmel River that will remain wet all year. CRSA is also an advocate for the implementation of sustainable and environmentally sound practices that focus on protecting and recovering the steelhead population. Here are some of those projects. In 1994, CRSA filed the original complaint and participated in a public hearing that resulted in the Water Order 1995-0010, which requires Cal-Am to pump less water from the Carmel River with the State Water Resources Control Board. In 2010, the organization negotiated with Cal-Am and Monterey Peninsula Water Management District for a minimum flow requirement for the steelhead migration before excess water can be pumped from the river in winter months. In 2009, CRSA advocated for and participated in the public hearing with State Water Resources Control Board that resulted in Water Order 2009-0060, the cease and desist order. The nonprofit participated in a 2016 stakeholder meeting that extended the cease and desist order and secured $2.5 million in additional mitigation for the Carmel River. Scientific studies on the Carmel River reveal imperative information that help both activists and biologists better understand the life history, behavior, reproductive habits, environment, and growth patterns of our local steelhead. The following are a few of those projects. Since 1980, members have been performing RED surveys on the Carmel River and some tributaries. A RED, for anyone who doesn't know, is a cleared spot in the gravel bottom that steelhead make with their tails to be used for spawning. CRSA began local outreach, education, and classroom presentations to local schools in 2010. Members taught students about the life history of the steelhead trout, biology of fishes, and the significance of the Carmel River watershed. In 2017, CRSA performed a scientific diet study with Kramer Fish Science on striped bass in the Carmel River, proving that striped bass indeed eat steelhead.
Hey students, so how many fish did you count? If you counted 8, you're spot on. Nice work.
CRSA have been heroes on the river, rescuing stranded steelhead since its inception in 1974. Over the last 27 years, CRSA has recorded data from each rescue and to date has rescued close to 201,000 young steelhead with the help of the community. These steelhead were then relocated to various locations along the river or lagoon where they have a better chance for survival before their home water dries up in the warm summer months. If you want to learn more about the past, current, and upcoming CRSA projects, please visit carmelsteelhead.org. Want to get involved? Sign up for our monthly newsletters that include conservation reports, project updates, and links to like-minded educational articles and videos. Next time you enjoy a visit to the Carmel River or lagoon, please remember the steelhead who live there. What must it be like to be a fish in our world today? How can we make a difference in their lives?